claim to be the longest running major industry in Stourport. It seems, we said the canal basins opened in the early 1770s, 71, and this would have been filled in and buildings were appearing here almost straight away. The oldest record I've been told about is that Holbrook's company moved in here around 1790 and started brewing vinegar. It was taken on by Sarsons later on, and basically anybody who's been involved in that stuff owned it at some time. And it didn't finally close down until Leslie's took over and shut it down. And in there apparently were 3 huge copper vats, which apparently have disappeared to Switzerland. Which I think was a tragedy because it should have been an archaeological relic here. I've met a number of ladies of mature years who tell me that this is where they learnt to do their youthful drinking, because quite a few of these houses up here ran a bit like speakeasies. You sort of went into the front room, sat down, and somebody opened a little opening into the kitchen, and beer and whatever, cigarettes were passed out. And 1 or 2 of the ladies with our walking group have told us this is where they learned to drink when they were girls, but they weren't people who went. The traders were the ones who first made money, and we've talked about the supply of raw materials and the distribution of the finished product with the factory over there, the vinegar factory. This place took off like wildfire. 1771. In 40 years, this probably reached not far off its peak. And for 40 years it just grew and grew and grew. The amount of boats in and out of here, we'll mention it again, meant that they built more and more basins to house more and more boats. And if you look behind you over this hump, where those houses are, that was another basin. That was the Lichfield Basin, opened in about 1810. On your right here, where this factory is, look down over the wall, and that was the Cheapside Basin, which opened 2 years later. And this is the lock by which you descended from the Lichfield Basin into the Cheapside Basin. So 1812, you've now got at least 5 basins here. We talked about the boaties. Well, this would have been as packed with boats then, if not more so than here. This behind you would also have been packed by and mainly, I said, the next tier of money making was the traders who ran the boat services and everything else and bought goods in, sold goods on. So this area is surrounded by wharfing and warehouses. So the wharf over there, where you see the wharf written on this side and the open doors, wasn't long before they'd expanded that. Story has it that that is the oldest iron framed warehouse and building still left on the canals. The interior structure is all iron framed, and originally, well not originally, but within a few years, they built that out trade. And the story is, Bewdley people said, we don't want Mr. Brindley's stinking ditch here, which is a complete fabricated story. They'd have loved it, but technically building a canal over those hills and through those hills into Bewdley was really hard, and this was the place. But many of the big traders saw what was happening and they moved their enterprise to here. And that white building over there, largely hidden by the trees, house, that was where Aaron York, the big traders, moved straight and built his premises. The industrialists, like our famous people like Branston, whatever, who are going by islands in the West Indies, they built their house right next to where their money was made so they could keep an eye on it. And that was Aaron York's house. And this not Baldwin, and I'm trying to remember the name of the other guy, and I'm going to have to look it up because I can't remember. Oh, it was Alfred. Alfred and Enoch got a patent from America in the late 1970s. And if you remember old tin pots, old iron cooking pots with a glaze around the outside, that was the glaze that they got a patent for. Entrepreneurs. That building there was the home of the Bondenburg family. And they lived on this site, and from there up to beyond Tesco's, this was the Bondenburg family. And again, it's the same principle. Oh, somebody wants the parking space. Again, it's the same principle with the canal. Here you've got the means of distribution of heavy finished carpets up and down the canal system. You've got the means.
Sorry.
You've got the means to import yarns, cloths, jute, which was often a backing for carpets that came from India, up the river and up the canal.
Fine. No,
You've got the means to import dyes and other heavy liquids. It was an excellent site for the transport of raw materials. The other thing it had, you saw the River Stour back there. Well, the River Stour runs at the back of the site. Now again, locals, I've never found a satisfactory answer to what is on the other side of here. Over the back end of there, you'll see an old ruined building that belonged to the factory. Down beside it, there are osier beds of reeds, which were used for water filtering. I reckon they're damn old. I reckon they go with the carpet factory and are probably part of supplying the carpet factory with the fresh, clean water more easily than trying to get it out of the Severn. You use the Stour. But I don't know. And I've met nobody yet who can really tell me that piece of history. I need to find somebody who perhaps knows more about the history of Bondworth carpet factory. I'm pretty sure they had a filtering system at the back right from the early days. As we'll know, this D shape round here is known as the Gilgal. Apparently it has biblical origins from the Hebrew as a meeting place, and apparently the key meeting place was in front of the pub down there called the Steps. It is the site of Mitten Village, so a lot of these buildings here are actually sat on the footprints of the earliest buildings that were ever here. And that black and white one is as old as it looks. It's not fake, it's an original Tudor building. And if you go down the lane at the back, you can't see anything that's important, but we know that down there was where there was a water wheel that, powered by the Stour, like a double wheel, a small wheel for the power and a large wheel to turn with buckets, used to lift water out of the Stour and drop it in a gutter. And that gutter used to feed across into the canal basins to keep them topped up with water when the boats were taking too much water out.